On this week's Tony and Josh show, this woman tries biting off more than she can chew, and I bet you already know what I'm talking about. An 11-year-old in a precarious situation does the unthinkable, and you won't believe the events that unfold in this story.
Headshot.
And Jesse Ventura is back in the news, although this time it's more about money than conspiracy theories. You know what they say, everything's bigger in Texas, which might explain why this Waco traffic stop came with a little something extra. We'll find out who is hiding what where on the next Tony and Josh show.
Warning. The opinions, ideas, views, emotions, and temper tantrums expressed or otherwise conveyed on the Tony and Josh show may not and most likely is not suitable for all audiences and therefore should not be heard by anyone unless supervised by an appropriate nanny state. Enjoy!
How are ya? This is episode 87. If you're new to the Tony and Josh show, we're here to inform, entertain, and give you a laugh or two. We've searched the interwebs and found these earth-shaking stories to bring to you tonight.
This woman tries biting off a little more than she can chew, and I bet you already know what I'm talking about. An 11-year-old in a precarious position does the unthinkable, and you won't believe the events that unfold in this story. You know they say that everything's bigger in Texas, which might explain why this traffic stop came with a little something extra. And Jesse Ventura is back in the news, although this time it's more about money than conspiracy theories.
Oh, gee, Jesse Ventura. But first, we want you guys to give us a call using our SpeakPipe feature on our website at TonyandJosh.com. Tweet us during the show at Tony and Josh Show. And don't forget to use this in your tweets with the hash... I'm laughing because of the hash brown thing. Hashtag Tony and Josh Show.
Yeah, Tony likes to use hash brown instead of hashtag. And, well, we both like being used, especially when it's for spreading around all about the Tony and Josh Show. So, yes, please use those tweets. And, well, like Tony said, we do have a voicemail line which you guys can participate in. And, well, you guys have done just that. Tony, we've got a few tonight to share with the folks out there. Who's up first?
Well, we have a new caller, and I think you're going to enjoy this one, Josh.
Hey, Tony and Josh. This is Chad, a.k.a. Mayo on your other form there. And I'd just like to say thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you kindly.
Well, you're welcome.
You see, my wife packs me yogurt on my lunches. And I just got done listening to most of your podcast on the Tony and Josh Show podcast. And this morning I heard the one about the female yogurt making girl. So,
You poor bastard.
yeah. Every time I took a bite, that's all I thought of.
Oh, man.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
Love the show.
Well,
Say it.
we've been thinking about tinkering around with smell-o-vision, and except not vision, it would be audio type code. So there'd be an
All
audio
new
smell.
Scratch and Sniff, brought to you by the Tony and Josh Show.
TNJ with your P&J. But Chad, all I can tell you is it's just a good damn thing she didn't also give you a tuna fish sandwich to go along with that yogurt. Am I right?
Boy.
Am I right? See? It could have been worse.
Yeah, silver lining. Leave
It
up to Tony.
just got worse, didn't it? It did just get worse. Okay, anyway, so let's thank you for that call. We really appreciate it. Let's get over to our Nikki G, our first Nikki G call.
Hey, this is Nikki G. I just caught the show and want to make a few comments
Please.
about the trophies for participating in sports. I agree with that totally. You should earn them. They shouldn't just give them out to you just for being there. And Josh made the comment that he was very competitive in school. I didn't know high school had competitive eating contests. And about the guy who underwent botched cosmetic surgery. He said one of his side effects was erections at inappropriate times.
That's junior high.
If he ever gets that solved, let me know. And if you're going to get your man bits worked on, why would you take your business to the lowest bidder?
Right.
That seems like something you would want a highly trained professional messing around with down there. All right, gentlemen, I'll chat you later. You have a good one. Bye.
Nikki G makes a good point. I would think that would be true for
It's rare, but it happens.
For man junk and your teeth. You never go to any place where it's a cut rate.
Yeah, really.
That's a little dig at Josh because he had some dental work done at a church or something. And then he had to go to the real doctor. So let's get to our final Nikki G.
Hey, this is Nikki G, and I just caught the second episode of Fear the Walking Dead. And it was horrible.
I now fear
didn't
it.
want to watch it, but it's like a truck jackknife on the highway. You can't help but look at it. If you go into it expecting Walking Dead, you're going to be disappointed. It's it's its own animal. I guess if you have an hour to kill, you could either watch this or watch paint dry. It's a toss-up. I guess it all depends on what color paint we're talking about. AMC can save it if they have celebrity zombies on there, like have Kanye West come out as a zombie, do a little thing, they say some phrase, and then kill it. And Sylvester Stallone, he wouldn't even have to put makeup on or change his dialogue. He just recites something from the Rocky movie.
He's 106.
It would just be very zombie-ish like. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't think they could put him on there because you can't work head, foot, a choppa in zombie language. And that's about it. I hope I don't watch the third episode. I'm going to try not to. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll chain myself to a tree or something. All right, guys. I'll chat you later. Have a good one. Bye.
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't enthused when I heard about this. It just was. Chachi loves. What is it? Joni loves Chachi all over again.
Yeah, I might binge watch that series, but I don't know. I've got mixed reservations about it. I've heard good and I've heard bad, so I figured I'll make my own opinion. And I did give the first episode about 3/4 of a watch, and it was hard for me to get into. I got to be honest. So I figured, all right, I need to wait till there's a few more out there. So if I need to, I can fast forward through a couple bits and get a couple under my belt to maybe get a better opinion on it all. But that might be reserved for a whole nother podcast.
But the only character that I really can't stand from The Walking Dead is Coral. Also known as Carl. Also known as Coral. We're nowhere close to the ocean. What the hell are you talking about? So, Shane, I absolutely could not stand Shane. When I saw him in that tank movie, was it Fury? And he got his ass shot up. I was like, yeah!
Spoiler alert.
I cannot stand it. Well, that movie's been out a while. So, the interesting thing is they're coming out with an X-rated version called Furry. The tank is used in a different way. So, anyway, we'd like for you guys to call our voice mail over at TonyandJosh.com. It's the SpeakPipe feature because we actually lost our voicemail line for not using it enough. But you can still send voicemails just by going to SpeakPipe. All you need is a device with a microphone, like a smartphone, anything that you can get on the internet, an iPad, a tablet. Those things usually have built-in speakers. Built-in speakers and mics. And leave us a little message there. And the nice thing is the audio quality is much nicer than the normal low resolution, if you will, audio recordings that we get from other things. So,
and hey, the more voicemails we get from you guys, the more chances we have of possibly picking up an actual voicemail line to make it easier on you guys. So, hey, if you make it worth our while, we'll make it worth your while.
I thought you were going to say the less you would hear from us. So,
well, that's not going to happen.
Well, if they're talking, we're not. So.
Well, anyway. Hey, we definitely need your guys' fingers to start doing some talking on those keyboards, and leave us a review over on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, all over the place. We're on the web over at TonyandJosh.com, and of course YouTube as well. Any one of those places, you can leave a comment, and we'd love to hear from you guys. Send us some feedback.
Yeah, we actually take feedback on the Twitter, the Facebook. We're on those platforms as well, so you can just send us a message there. We'd love to hear from you. So please leave us a review on Twitter, Facebook. You even put it in the comments on TonyandJoshShow.com. And we'd like to see some comments on the shows. Tell us what you think about the shows.
Absolutely. Even if it's constructive criticism or a backhanded compliment, we especially love those. And of course, the heavy breathing and grunting is optional.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, other noteworthy news out there. We've talked about this little dwarf planet at length, and Tony and I are really keeping our finger on the pulse of what's happening with this little dwarf planet called Ceres. All these bright spots has really been the focus of this thing's, the celestial body's presence in the news has been seen in striking new detail with NASA's Dawn spacecraft about 1/3 of the way through its 3D mapping run. And soon the scientific analysis will reveal just what the chemical and geological makeup of those bright spots really are. I'm still betting on some solar sugar of some kind or another.
Nougat. We're kind of on the same page. Solar sugar, nougat, same thing.
The new Star Wars is going to be shot in Ireland. That was just announced here recently as well. Apple announced it will again be releasing more iCrack into the world. And speaking of must-have electronic goodies, if you have an extra 15 grand laying around, you can buy GoPro's new 16-camera rig, allowing you to take 3D, HD, 360-degree content. Oh boy, porn will never be the same again. And in other news, Stephen Colbert, this or that, something, something, TV, something, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you.
Hey, speaking of TV stuff, former pro wrestler Jesse Ventura is in the news.
But why? Why? So anyway, this is kind of depressing and sad, so we're going to get to it first. So Taya Kyle disputes Ventura. I am on the hook to pay the defamation award. Taya Kyle pushed back this morning against Jesse Ventura's repeated assertion that she will not have to pay after Ventura won a defamation lawsuit against her late husband. The former Minnesota governor recently told High Times magazine that insurance companies will cover everything for the Kyle family. They ain't out one nickel. I'm out $750,000. That's what it cost me to go to court for 3.5 years, he said, adding that Chris Kyle would not be viewed a hero because he lied. Kyle said that on Fox and Friends that Ventura continues to say things about the case that are not true. He said all sorts of things about me that aren't true, about money. I am on the hook for the money, she said, adding that she's infuriated by Ventura's hypocrisy and continued to make false statements. Sounds like another lawsuit to me. They started collections that were stopped on me. You're going to start collections on me for the money, but then get out and say, I'm not on the hook, she said. Since Chris Kyle's death more than 2 years ago, Ventura has been criticized for going forward with the defamation lawsuit, but he has maintained that insurance companies would pay the $1.8 million award. A federal jury in Minnesota sided with Ventura last year, deciding that the decorated Navy SEAL sniper had libeled Ventura in his best-selling book. Kyle wrote that he knocked out Ventura for saying that the Navy SEALs deserved to lose a few. Ventura insisted that he was defamed because the incident never happened.
Oh boy, a lot of he said, she said, and now one of the he she's is no longer with us, and it really is a tragic story, and it's one of these things like, well, man, come on, this could have been a little bit of water off the duck's back, could have been swept under the rug a little bit, but I'm saying there was some bad choices made on everybody's side on this one. There's really no winner in this story.
Well, I'm more likely to believe that Chris Kyle's telling the truth, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, nobody, well, I wasn't there. You weren't there.
No.
I'm pretty damn sure that Jesse Ventura wasn't there, at least as far as the stories in the book go.
Well, I think he was there, and I think he got knocked on his ass, and that's the real thing here. So I'm just surprised nobody stepped up, and even if they weren't there, said that they were, and that's what happened.
Yeah, there you go.
The stories you're about to hear are true. Only the names have been changed to protect the stupid.
A routine traffic stop turns into a rousing game of out pops the evidence in our latest dumb criminal story. A traffic stop led to a drug bust in Waco, Texas earlier this week. Not too unusual of a headline there. We hear them all across the nation all the time. But it was after the traffic stop is when things took a slight twist. It happened just after 11 p.m. Monday when officers pulled over a 1998 Toyota for a traffic violation. The officer discovered the driver, 30-year-old Gabriel G. Money Garcia, was hiding some meth under his seat. Police then searched the vehicle further and discovered the passenger, Ashley Cecilia Castaneda, another hit apparently, 31, who was hiding in plain sight the whole time. Now, how she got past the cops during the initial search is beyond me, but there you have it. They discovered the passenger, and wouldn't you know it, tweakers of a feather flock together. Ashley was hiding 29.5 grams of methamphetamine in her purse. Thought I was going to go a different direction there, didn't you? She was also taken into custody because that's what happens when you decide to be a tweaker, boys and girls. You take joyrides with other fellow tweakers and you go to jail to become somebody's bitch. Now, as both suspects were being transported to jail, police say the woman had then told them she was in possession of a gun. Now, Officer Blind and Officer Sightless had not only conducted a reading of the Miranda, but had indeed patted down the crackhead and came up with no weapons. The suspect then provided the officers with one more juicy tidbit of information. She was hiding the weapon in her genitals.
Juicy.
Now, I've seen a loose meat sandwich or two in my day, but no matter how long the curtains are, I think it would be pretty hard to conceal a sniper rifle in your crotch, no matter how deep that rabbit hole goes. Not ignoring the fact of overlooking an entire human being earlier, the officers weren't taking any chances. The squad car was immediately pulled over, and our ever so brave officers were not taking any chances. They did the only thing that would solve the situation once and for all. A full-on roadside rubber glove cavity search. Did I say that with too much gusto? No. Well, they quickly discovered the loaded Smith & Wesson pistol hid inside it, missed deep in Tweaky's nether regions.
Where's my watch?
God damn it, I lost my ring. I gotta go back in. The police report says, quote, the 22 caliber semi-automatic handgun was gross and icky. Oh, and had a chambered, had a round chambered and a full magazine of bullets as well. Both G Money and Casta need another hit. Both face charges of possession of methamphetamine in a drug-free zone. There's no word on the pistol, but sources say it's in a recovery program for victims confined in deplorable conditions.
Castaneda. I went to school with a Castaneda.
Oh.
Glad
that was beyond my name saying expertise there.
Well, you know how I stumble with names, and it's just amazing that I'm actually able to help you out with that one.
Seriously, with that one, because usually it's the other way around.
I don't read it because I knew what you were saying, but I wanted to finish it for you. But
think about that. I mean, you're in the front of a squad car, and you hear your passenger in the back, your detainee there, that excuse me, officer,
shooting their mouth off, or another opening.
Well, the fact that it was that she had one chambered and the magazine was fully loaded makes me think that she was one sneeze away from a really bad day,
or a good one.
Well,
and I might have used the whole
facing.
I might have used the whole clip on that fun game. But this reminds me. There's another excellent use for Febreze, because I'm sure that gun, once cleaned up, could be sold on the open market.
You know that went into a police auction somewhere or something. Good Lord.
Jeez.
Every time I go to the range, it smells like tuna. I have no idea what's going on here.
Go away! I don't know you.
Boy,
no, seriously, I gotta know what the fuck you were thinking.
Jimmy Stewart.
Well, hey, speaking of guns in unusual places, what's this next story all about, Tony?
Oh, man, this is just a sad story all the way around. I think it has a happy ending, at least for the primaries in the story. Mm-hmm. Missouri 11-year-old boy fatally shoots 16-year-old intruder. An 11-year-old Missouri boy shot and killed a 16-year-old boy during an attempted home invasion Thursday afternoon, St. Louis County Police said. Police said two suspects tried to break in the home of the North downtown St. Louis twice before the shooting on Thursday. On the third try, authorities said that the unidentified teen went through the home's unlocked front door. Somebody didn't think that through very well.
Yeah. Right.
While the 11-year-old and 4-year-old girl were home alone. Police said the younger boy shot the teen in the head.
Headshot.
The would-be burglar's body was found in the home's foyer. We're terribly sorry for that, for the parents of the 16-year-old child. Investigators said no one else was hurt in the incident. The second suspect fled the scene after the shooting, as well you should, but was later taken into custody. The 11-year-old boy's mother was being interviewed by investigators. St. Louis County Police spokesman Sergeant Brian Shellman, oh, that's an easy one, described as cooperative with the investigation. Fox 2 now reports the police want to know why the children were home alone and why the 11-year-old had access to a gun. Police believe the mother bought the gun after a prior break-in attempt. So they want to know why the kid had the gun, because he potentially saved the life of him and his sibling.
All right. Now, so there's so many red flags in this story.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay. It is my belief that after your 10th birthday, you're pretty much in the ballpark for staying home alone for a short period of time if you've demonstrated responsible behavior in that aspect or thereabouts. Once you reach double digits, you kind of start, getting into the age of gaining more responsibilities, and being left home alone is one of those. Now, I come from a family...
Even if you score high target rounds at the range.
Yes.
High scores on the target.
Now, I come from a family where I've got a younger sister. She's 3 years younger than me. And so when I was 11, she was younger than me.
That would be no math.
I was told there'd be no math. And so, I kind of fell into that role of babysitter, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so I could see why... and we don't know if this was a single mother. Maybe there's no mention of a father in this at all or anything like that. So this could be a single mother who was perhaps working 2 jobs, had to leave the kids at home for 3 or 4 hours while she finishes up her shift at the diner. And what better way to protect the kids than to make sure that the elder of the two knows that there's a weapon in the house and knows how to use it. Now, at 11 years old, I knew how to use a gun. And not to say that I was capable of pulling off a headshot in the midst of an invasion, but nonetheless, I think that's either really great dumb luck or just an example of an 11-year-old who knows how to shoot, which we should be applauding, not questioning.
I mean, just to be able to stand up in that situation and do that and hit the target.
This kid, now, you want to talk about a kid getting a blue ribbon? Back up the truck. Come on, bring that in here. This kid gets a big one.
It's horrible that anybody was injured or killed in this, especially a 16-year-old child. Well, but you cannot break into somebody's home, and this was a repeated attempt to do so. And
right.
I don't know if it was this person that repeatedly attempted to do it, but just committing a felony once is enough for deadly force to be used.
Well, I mean, look, if this was all 3 in one night, and on the 3rd try, they finally try the front door, which just so happened to be unlocked. I'm almost wondering if the 11-year-old was baiting him in. Let's just go ahead and unlock that. You want to try and break into my home? Let's go ahead and I'll make it real easy for you.
If this was 50 years ago or 60 years ago, this young child's name might have been Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right. Come on in. I got something for you. Just take a couple more steps. Surprise. No, this really is, a tragic ending because, look, I got to ask, where the hell were the parents of the 2 kids that were breaking in?
Yeah, absolutely.
If anybody is culpable in the story, it's the parents of the kids that were breaking in.
That's the one.
Loss
the police
of life aside, you did a crappy job of raising your kid.
That's the one the police should be talking to. The parents of those 2 children, and I bet you it's parent of one parent for each one of those children.
Indeed. Yeah. And it's just, it's a damn shame that it came to this, but hey, maybe this kind of thing will start waking up, this particular area's youth, and that, hey, if you're a 16-year-old kid and you're out on a Saturday night, the best thing to do is not to go break into somebody's house, because guess what? You might get shot in the head.
Sadly, but true. And I hate that we've come to the point where everybody needs a weapon just so everybody knows how to behave or think twice about breaking into a home, even when it is only children that are in the home. But that's good. If manners can't be taught at home, then manners can be taught by people with guns. And
very good point.
It's very sad. I don't want anybody hurt. I don't want anybody shot. I certainly don't want anybody killed. And especially children. But parents, do your jobs. Do your job. Now, Josh, I know that you're aware of this, and I guess everybody is, that guns aren't the only weapon you can use, and sometimes they're not as painful as some of the other weapons that can be used.
Good God, no. Now, Oklahoma woman tries to bite off more than she can chew. Now, you might have heard that earlier on in the show. I think maybe Hall & Oates said it best in Maneater with the line, "Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up."
Thank you.
A Chickasha woman was arrested after she, "Ooh, boy, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up." Okay, enough of that. A Chickasha woman was arrested after she allegedly tried to bite off her husband's private parts. Officials said the attack happened while the man was holding the couple's 11-month-old daughter. Oh, boy. That's when Mercy Keene allegedly confronted her husband, Jesse, after she heard that he was leaving with the daughter. I mean, if the kid's diaper is literally overflowing and it's crying its damn head off in the middle of the living room during a neighborhood church group, I think it's the father's prerogative to take the baby into the other room to be changed. Just me? I don't know. Well, the deranged and obviously bat-esque crazy woman was having none of that and admitted to the officers that at that point she then pushed her husband to the ground and, quote, tried to bite his penis off. Because there's no possible better way to handle that situation. Sergeant Jeremy Alexander said in a report, "I observed a bite mark on Jesse's right arm, and there was another bite mark on Jesse's left thigh, about 2 inches from his penis. Victim claims both marks came from Mercy biting him. Mercy was arrested and booked into the Grady County Jail for domestic assault and battery in the presence of a minor. In a statement, she also said she would have ate his liver, too, with maybe a side of fava beans and a nice Chianti." Now, this isn't the only attempted slicing of man meat in Oklahoma this year. Just in February, 31-year-old Amber Ellis hit her boyfriend in the head with a laptop. When he woke, he found his girlfriend trying to bite off his manhood. She was charged with maiming and assault with a deadly weapon. Well, you know what they say. Love bites. In Oklahoma, anyways.
So, I can't help but think, Josh, this would have been a great story for National Hot Dog Day.
Oh.
It's no worse than your singing.
We'll just go ahead and slice that one off in post.
Oh, and we'll wrap it up, right? Oh, gee. Well,
yeah, you know, we can't finish a Tony and Josh show without a little bit of humor from below the belt, as it were.
Oh, absolutely. Sick and twisted, more twisted than sick at times.
I'm starting to get a pattern here. I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's make sure it matches the plates. So, don't you guys forget to wrap it up with us with a review or a voicemail. You can direct people to the website, TonyandJosh.com. You can visit us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and TuneIn. You can also visit us at TonyandJosh.com, where you can listen to the podcast directly from the website, or, you know, leave us a comment or two about the stories, maybe what you liked, what you didn't like. Tell us, point out each time that Tony messes up while he's trying to talk. That would be a timeline of those events.
So that's right, guys. Our entire show archive is there for your viewing and listening pleasure. We do have some video stuff over there, I believe.
Yeah.
Tons of audio as well. You can check out all of our posts over there at TonyandJosh.com. Make sure you guys are telling a friend. You can find us over there on YouTube as well. Of course, Twitter. Make sure you guys are following us. All kinds of good stuff going out on the Twitter, as Tony would say. Of course, Facebook.com/Tony and Josh Show. Make sure you spell that all out in one word, Tony and Josh Show. Make sure you like us on Facebook and keep up with our posts over there. And of course, you make sure you keep up with our weekly posts as we release a new show each and every week.
Please like us, please. we like it when you like us. So, I can't believe some of these stories that we have, Josh. Oh, and a couple of these stories, I know at least one that we used tonight was from John. You may know him as Pre-Runner 1982 over at xjtalk.com, and even a contributor on our other podcast, the Jeep Talk Show. So thank you very much, John. Although I think Kendra had something to do with those stories, Josh.
Well, hey, if other people would like to send in a story, Tony, where could they shoot us a link or a body of that story?
Well, you know, these came in on our Facebook page, Tony and Josh Show. Somebody John just sent the message straight through Facebook. There's a various number of ways, but if you want to, you could just put in, I guess we could use news or stories, either one, at Tony and Josh Show. I'm sorry, TonyandJosh.com. I wish I hadn't mixed those two things together, Josh. It's Tony and Josh Show on Facebook, but the website is TonyandJosh.com, just for clarification.
Send those emails to news tips at TonyandJosh.com. In the meantime, guys, we'll see you next week.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week, as long as we're not put away for, bad stories.